Maya Carter's first breath in 20 years felt like a whisper against her lungs. She lay on a smooth, cool surface, her skin brushing against metal so softly it seemed to hum a gentle lullaby. When her eyes fluttered open, she saw soft light, pooling in the curved walls around her. The room was round like an egg, and every surface glowed with a muted blue sheen. She tried to lift her head, but her muscles trembled as if she had forgotten how to stand. The seconds stretched and fear bubbled in her chest. But beneath it, there was wonder too. She had slept for so long that the world she knew had become a distant dream. A figure stepped forward, elegant and tall, with skin that shimmered faintly like moonlight on water. Its eyes were wide and gentle, glowing a soft green, and its voice reached her not through air, but directly into her mind, calm and kind. "You are safe now. You have been sleeping for 20 Earth years." At the sound of those words, the memory of her old life rushed back in a flood. Her mother's warm smile at the breakfast table, her best friend's laughter echoing down the hallway of their college dorm, the tremor of excitement as she packed her bags for a dream job she had hoped to find after graduation. Tears slipped down her cheeks without her permission, salty drops that tasted of lost time and unspoken goodbyes. The alien Olara, it called itself, reached out with a slender hand and placed it near Maya's heart. The touch was not cold. It was like the glow of a sunrise, comforting and alive. In an instant, Maya felt something shift inside her. Raw ache of years vanished, replaced by a curious ember of hope. She whispered, voice cracked, "What happened? Why am I here?" Lara gently projected images into the air. Earth cities, once crowded and noisy, now balanced by floating gardens and silver domes. Humans walking alongside beings of all shapes and sizes, sharing stories and songs under alien moons. Children playing in zero-gravity parks, their laughter echoing in the quiet of space stations. Maya's heart galloped. The Earth she remembered was gone, transformed into something she barely recognized. Yet the images glowed with promise, a future she had not lived but could perhaps still join. She pressed her hand to her chest, feeling the steady beat of life and the steady promise it carried. Alara's thoughts brushed gently against her mind. "You were chosen for preservation when a great disaster threatened your home. We could not save everyone, but we kept you. Now the danger has passed. You may return if you wish." Maya closed her eyes, and in the darkness, she saw the faces of everyone she ever loved, faces she feared she would never see again. She felt a stab of guilt for waking into a world she did not know, but also a fierce flame of determination. She would learn. She would heal. She would find her place. When she opened her eyes again, Alara offered her a simple garment-soft fabric that slipped over her shoulders and fit perfectly. As Maya rose slowly to her feet, every joint protested and then relaxed. And she realized that despite the years lost, her body remembered movement. She took a breath and smiled through her tears, surprising herself with the steadiness of her voice. "Thank you," she said, and the words trembled but held. "I want to see this new world." Alara nodded, and the chamber's door slid open. In a whisper, revealing a long corridor bathed in pale light. Together they stepped forward, each footfall echoing like a promise. Though Maya felt small and unsteady, her spirits soared. She was waking not just from sleep, but into a new beginning, a future she could help shape. And as the door closed gently behind her, the silence was filled with the soft pulse of hope. Echoing the rhythm of a human heart ready to beat again among the stars, Maya Carter's mind felt like a storm of scattered memories as she followed Alara down the softly lit corridor, her footsteps unsteady but driven by curiosity. One moment she saw the face of her mother, calling her to dinner with gentle urgency. The next, she felt the thrill of her first day at university. The sun warm on her skin as she stepped onto campus amid a swirl of excited students. In her mind's eye, she replayed the last photograph she had taken, a selfie outside her small apartment. A proud smile on her face as she prepared for a new job interview. Then the image shattered, replaced by haunting emptiness, as if decades of laughter, tears, and everyday moments had vanished into thin air. Her heart raced, a trembling mix of grief and wonder, and she closed her eyes, her own breath echoing like distant thunder. But Alara's calm presence beside her, sensed, rather than seen, offered a steady anchor. The alien gently extended a translucent hand, and before Maya's eyes, a holojournal flickered to life, projecting floating panels of light that painted her lost years in vivid strokes. She watched as her childhood home transformed. The backyard swing set lay abandoned beneath a sky the same blue she remembered, while wildflowers had grown up around it, taller than a child's reach. A panel showed her college graduation ceremony, but the graduates wore sleek, iridescent robes that shimmered like oil on water. The old brick buildings of her alma mater had been replaced by gleaming towers that hummed with quiet energy. Another panel revealed a bustling spaceport on the outskirts of her hometown, where humans and aliens mingled peacefully, bidding farewell to explorers bound for distant worlds. Maya's throat tightened, tears pooling in her eyes as she realized how much she had missed birthdays, anniversaries, simple evenings spent reading by lamplight. Yet, beneath the pain was a spark of awe. She witnessed firsthand humanity's grand accomplishments, floating solar arrays that captured sunbeams as they shifted above Earth, children learning alien languages as easily as their mother tongue, communities that had grown stronger through unity rather than division. Her vision blurred, but Alara's soothing voice and echo in her thoughts reminded her gently, "These records show you all you could not live through. You did not choose this long sleep, but you have survived." Maya felt a swell of gratitude mingle with her sorrow. She pressed her hand to her chest, feeling the steady beat beneath the soft garment Alara had given her. It was a reminder that she still existed in this new world, that her heartbeat counted for something. Gathering courage, she whispered, "Tell me more. What else did I miss?" The holojournal responded, shifting to new panels. Her best friends. Wedding held beneath a shimmering dome that mirrored the cosmos. Her former city, now a center of learning where scholars and alien emissaries taught side by side. A monument rising from where her old school once stood, inscribed with the names of those who had been lost in the great disaster that had put her into stasis. Maya's breath caught as she saw her own name among the honored fewer recognition. She had not sought, yet it brought tears of pride to her eyes. She realized that although she had slept, her life had not been forgotten. Her existence had been woven into the fabric of this renewed earth. The weight of what she had missed pressed on her chest. But as the images shifted, she began to feel a gentle pull of possibility. Somewhere among those soaring towers, singing, children, and star-kissed fields of alien flowers, there was a place for her. Maya turned to Alara, her voice steadier now, lined with determination. "How do I find my place again? How do I become part of this future?" Alara paused, and for a moment the corridor was silent, but for the soft hum beneath their feet. Then the alien answered, "Your memories, your emotions, your very spirit, these are what will guide you. We have prepared guidance teams, but the choice of direction is yours." As they walked on, the corridor opened into a vast chamber lined with panoramic windows, revealing a landscape of rolling hills dotted with solar harvesting blossoms and rivers reflecting twin moons. In that breathtaking vista, Maya felt the last shreds of her fear dissolve, replaced by a determination as clear as the stars above. She knew that her memories of laughter shared around a kitchen table, of dreams whispered in the dark, were not lost treasures but seeds of connection she could plant here. And as Alara guided her toward the council of guides waiting in gentle rows, Maya lifted her chin, a small smile gathering on her lips. The storm of memories within her had settled into a river of hope, carrying her forward into a world she barely knew but longed to embrace. She took a deep breath, ready to shape her own story among the stars and find the place her heart still called home. Maya Carter's breath caught in her throat as Alara guided her through a wide archway into a circular chamber dominated by a vast viewing port. The glass curved overhead and beneath her feet, offering a breathtaking panorama of Earth that took her back to memories long buried. At first she saw familiar patterns, the deep blue of the oceans, the green of forest, but as her gaze traveled, she realized everything had changed. Great cities floated above the clouds, their foundations hidden by swirling mist. Sleek sky bridges arched between towering spires that gleamed under the gentle light of a distant sun. Below, Rivers wound through terraces of gardens, where flowers glowed with soft bioluminescence, and children, some human, some alien, laughed as they chased one another across floating platforms. Her heart pounded with wonder in a sudden way. Ache. It felt impossible that this was still Earth, yet the pulse of life she had once known beat strongly here. Alara's voice came to her mind, steady and warm. This is Earth as it stands now. Look closely. Maya leaned forward, her hand pressed to the transparent pane as if she could touch the world beyond. She noted the tendrils of a vast solar array drifting like jellyfish above a sea of clouds. She spotted small transports darting between sky cities, carrying people and goods in silent harmony. Newsfeed strands scrolled along the lower rim of the port, a ribbon of light alliance established with Thalaran Collective. New sanctuary module launched above Pacific Rim. Cultural exchange festival opens on Orion Station. Each headline filled Maya with both pride and a twinge of sorrow, pride in how humanity had grown. Sorrow. For the years she had missed, a gentle hand on her shoulder drew Maya's attention to a nearby console. Olara guided her to it, and Maya watched as images of busy streets materialized, humans walking side by side with tall, graceful aliens whose skin shimmered in hues of silver and lavender. Market stalls offered fruits that pulsed with inner light. Musicians played instruments shaped like crystalline chords, their melodies drifting through open plazas. With each new scene, Maya felt her chest tighten with emotion. She remembered the crowded city squares of her youth, full of noise and clamor. Here, the energy was different, calm, collaborative, alive in a deeper way. Tears warmed her cheeks, but she did not brush them away. Instead, she'll let them fall, each drop a testament to the life she had slept through and the wonders she would never have imagined. Your world has healed, Lara's thought voice said softly. After the great upheaval, humans and other worlds chose peace. You see its fruits. Maya closed her eyes, picturing the old Earth, the sirens and traffic, the grid of city streets, the tension of daily struggles. The contrast made her heart swell. She opened her eyes to a new feed, Human Ling Collective to name first joint research outpost, accompanied by images of scientists peering through alien microscopes. The scientists smiled at each other, hands brushing as they passed data. Crystals back and forth. Maya felt a spark of hope ignite within her. This was a future she could embrace. Beside her, Olara projected a single phrase in her native tongue, and in Maya's mind simultaneously, home can be reborn. The words felt like a gentle gift. Maya pressed her hand to her heart, feeling her pulse steady under the soft garment. She whispered, I want to learn everything about this new home. Olara nodded, and the lights in the chamber dimmed as more detailed maps and data streams filled the hollow space. There were routes to biodomes on other continents, schedules for cultural introductions, seminars, invitations to join local councils. Maya's eyes scanned each projection, her mind racing with possibilities. She found herself drawn to an invitation titled First Contact Symposium. At a spaceport in what was once New York City, the invitation spoke of shared lectures, joint performances, and open mic nights where humans and aliens would tell stories of their worlds. A warm smile lifted Maya's lips, stories her old passion could bridge the gap between past and present. She imagined stepping onto a stage, sharing her memories of Earth's sunrise and dusk, of laughter around kitchen tables, and of dreams of exploration that once filled her sleep. Her voice caught again, but this time in excitement rather than sorrow. Olara sensed her determination and placed a slender finger against a control pad. We will arrange your passage, the alien thought voice said. In an instant, tickets and manifest details appeared, confirming Maya's seat on the next shuttle to the sky city above the former Atlantic coast. Her heart fluttered like a child's. She realized that this chamber, with its silent view of a transformed Earth, was not just a gateway, it was a promise. A promise that even after 2 decades of sleep, a human spirit could awaken to a world richer and kinder than she had ever dared imagine. Maya reached out and touched the glass one last time, reflection merging with the earth beyond. In that moment, She knew she would carry both memories and dreams forward. The ache for what was lost had become the fire that would guide her new beginning. She turned to Alara and said, voice steady with resolve, "Thank you for showing me home." The alien inclined its head, and together they walked back through the archway toward the next step of her journey, leaving behind only the echo of her heartbeat against the glass and carrying ahead the unspoken truth that humanity's greatest gift was the hope that could outlast any darkness. Maya Carter stepped out of the viewing chamber into a warm, sunlit hall where humans and aliens moved like dancers in a graceful ballet. Lara guided her toward a row of doors labeled Integration Suite, and Maya's heart fluttered at the thought of what lay ahead. Inside, she found a circle of chairs arranged beneath soft lanterns that floated like fireflies. Around her sat beings of many shapes and colors, humans with gentle smiles, tall Thalaran scholars whose eyes glowed softly and smaller, winged creatures whose laughter tinkled like wind chimes. A gentle hum of conversation filled the room, and Maya felt a mix of excitement and nervousness swirl in her chest. A human guide, Dr. Elena Ruiz, stood and offered Maya a seat. Her warm voice broke any lingering tension. "Welcome, Maya. Today you join others who survived the long sleep. We learn together to bridge past and future." Maya nodded, settling into the chair as fresh faces turned toward her. She noticed an alien with turquoise skin sketching doodles in a floating notebook and a childlike creature whose wings fluttered anxiously. In that moment, Maya realized she was not alone in her uncertainty. Dr. Ruiz began with a simple exercise. Each person would share a memory of home. When it was Maya's turn, her voice trembled, but she spoke clearly. "I remember morning sunlight on my kitchen table, the sound of my mother humming as she cooked breakfast." Her words painted a picture that made even the aliens lean closer. When she finished, a gentle silence followed, and then soft applause rippled around the circle. Ah! Maya's cheeks warmed. Her memory had touched others and formed a bond. Next came an etiquette workshop led by a Thalaran elder named Vesh. He demonstrated 3 traditional greetings: a human handshake, a gentle touch of fingertips, and an exchange of light through bioluminescent patches on the chest. Maya practiced awkwardly at first, but with each attempt, she felt more confident. When Vesh placed his hand over hers and glowed a soft lavender, Maya felt a comforting warmth spread through her. She realized etiquette was not just rules, it was a way to show respect and care. After a short break, session in a nearby lab. Holographic screens floated above sleek tables displaying tools she had never seen. A young engineer named Joran guided her through the basics of a neural interface that allowed communication across language barriers. When Maya touched the interface pad, words in her mind transformed instantly into the Thalaran tongue. She gasped at the smoothness of the connection and laughed in delight. Her laughter rippled across the room, and soon everyone was experimenting, sharing exclamations of surprise and joy in multiple languages as the sun dipped behind the windowed walls. Maya followed Alara into a garden dome where bioluminescent flowers glowed under a violet sky. Here, the mood was quieter and reflective. A counselor named Myra invited Maya to walk among the blossoms and share her fears. Maya spoke of guilt for leaving her loved ones behind and sorrow for the years she had lost. Myra listened with patient eyes and then spoke softly. "Your grief is part of your humanity. Here we honor it, guides you toward compassion and strength." As Maya inhaled the sweet scent of the blossoms, she felt a gentle peace settling in her heart. The final session was a creative circle where participants told stories of hope. When it was Maya's turn, she hesitated, then began, "Once on my old Earth, people looked to the sky and dreamed of other worlds. They believed that beyond the stars was friendship and wonder." As she spoke, her voice grew strong, painting images of dawns she would never again see and starlit nights she longed to remember. When she finished, the garden fell silent, and awe before applause bloomed like flowers around her. Tears filled Maya's eyes, but they were tears of renewal. That evening, the stars appeared beyond the dome, Maya walked back to her quarters feeling lighter than she had in years. She realized that, though she had missed 2 decades, she had gained something precious, a community that valued her memories and would support her growth. She lay down on her new bed, the soft mattress cradling her tired body, and smiled. Tomorrow, she would explore more, visit learning halls, meet old friends, families, even volunteer in the floating orchards. She closed her eyes, gratitude warming her thoughts. She was no longer simply waking up. She was becoming part of something beautiful, a future woven from hope, kindness, and the enduring spirit of humanity. Maya awoke early the next morning, the soft light of twin suns filtering through her window. She dressed quietly and made her way to the central garden dome, where dew still clung to the glowing petals of alien flowers. As she stepped onto the winding path, she saw small groups of humans and aliens already gathering by a circular bench beneath a translucent canopy. Today's session was called The Human Spark, and the guide explained that each person would share a story from old Earth that held deep meaning. Maya's heart fluttered. She had chosen a simple tale of family dinners beneath a maple tree, but now she wondered if it could truly touch these new friends. When her turn came, Maya took a deep breath and stood before the circle. She began in a soft voice. On my old Earth, we had seasons. One of my favorites was autumn, when the leaves turned bright red and gold. My family would gather beneath a large maple tree in our backyard. My mother would bring out a pot of stew, and my father would carve wooden bowls. We would sit on a thick blanket of fallen leaves, passing bowls around, and tell each other stories. As she spoke, she noticed the faces in the circle growing attentive. A small winged child tucked a loose strand of hair behind an ear, and a tall, silver-skinned alien tilted its head as if listening for hidden echoes in her words. Maya paused and let the silence hold the memory. She described the crackling sound of the leaves beneath her boots, the spicy scent of cinnamon and thyme in the air, the way laughter felt warm against cool breeze. She spoke of her grandmother's gentle voice singing old lullabies, and of the way her brother chased squirrels across the yard, leaves swirling around him like confetti. Every image she painted was simple, yet rich with feeling, the comfort of home, the safety of family, and the magic of small moments. Her voice trembled only once, when she remembered the day her grandmother's chair remained empty, the maple tree bare of her laughter. When Maya finished, she looked up and saw tears, glistening in some eyes and in others, a glow of recognition. The guide, a kindly human named Dr. Ruiz, smiled and said, "Thank you, Maya. You reminded us that home is more than walls. It is the warmth we share." A gentle wave of applause rippled through the audience. Maya felt a shy smile bloom on her face. She realized that her simple story had carried her emotions across worlds and languages. Her heart felt full, as if the maple leaves themselves had wrapped her in a hug. After the storytelling circle, participants mingled among the orchids and light vines. Maya found herself surrounded by curious listeners. The Thalaran elder Vesh placed a hand on her shoulder and said, in his gentle telepathic voice, "Your story shows us the beauty of human seasons. On my world, we have crystal gardens that bloom at night. Perhaps you could teach our children about autumn." Ah! Maya's eyes lit up. "I would love to," she replied. A small alien child with turquoise skin tugged at Maya's sleeve. "Will you tell us more stories?" it asked. Maya crouched beside the child and nodded. "Yes, many stories." The child's laughter rang like a bell, and Maya felt a surge of joy. Later, in a bright atrium filled with floating lily pads, Maya joined an interactive workshop where she and others wove threads of memory into a tapestry of shared experiences. She selected a golden thread to represent her autumn tale and tied it into the fabric, next to a violet thread from an alien who spoke of starlit festivals on his home planet. As the tapestry grew, Maya traced the interwoven colors and felt a deep sense of belonging. Each thread was different, yet together they formed a beautiful whole gist, as humans and aliens formed a new community on Earth. As the afternoon sun dipped low, Maya walked with Alara back through the garden toward her quarters. Alara's glowing eyes reflected the shifting colors of the tapestry. In Maya's mind, the alien spoke. Your stories carry the flame of humanity, Maya. They will light the hearts of many. Maya smiled and placed a hand over her heart. I felt afraid at first, she admitted, but sharing my memories made me feel connected. Alara's presence shimmered with warmth. Connection is the essence of home, it replied. That evening, Maya sat by her window, watching the soft glow of the city beyond. She thought of her parents, her grandmother, and the maple tree she had loved. Though they were memories now, they lived on in her heart and in the stories she shared. Maya realized that her journey was not just about catching up on lost time, but about weaving her past into the future she was helping to create. Tomorrow, she would lead a group of children in drawing their favorite memories under the bioluminescent flowers. And as she drifted to sleep, Maya felt a quiet excitement for the days ahead. What an opportunity to kindle the human spark in a world transformed by hope and unity. Maya Carter awoke with a flutter of excitement. Today was the day she would take her first step beyond Earth's embrace. She dressed in the soft mission uniform Alara had provided. Light gray with subtle blue trimand, ran her fingers over the patch on her shoulder, a human hand reaching out to a star. Her heart thumped with pride. After weeks of learning and sharing stories, she had volunteered to join the Starbound Outreach, Vessel Aurora's Hope. She believed her human spirit could bring comfort and friendship to worlds still learning about humanity. In the bustling spaceport hall, Maya stood beside Alara as she watched humans and aliens prepare for departure. The air hummed with anticipation. Engineers checked engines. Pilots reviewed star maps, and families exchanged tearful goodbyes. Maya's pulse quickened when she found the Aurora's Hope docking bay. The ship was graceful and long, its hull gleaming under soft lights, solar panels folded like wings along its sides. A banner overhead read, "Safe travels and strong hearts." Maya touched the metal rail, feeling the cool strength beneath her fingertips, and whispered, "I'm ready." A warm voice called her name. It was Commander Anya Patel, a seasoned human captain whose gentle smile belied her sharp mind. "Welcome aboard, Specialist Carter," she said, taking Maya's hand in a firm handshake. "Your stories have already touched many here. We know you will inspire more out there." Maya nodded, her voice steady. "Thank you, Captain. I will do my best to carry our spirit of hope." Inside the ship's central lounge, Maya met her fellow crewmates. A Thalaron biologist named Selin, an engineer from the Orion Belt called Jarek, and a young human diplomat named Naomi. They all greeted her with warmth. Selin's large, honey-colored eyes shone as she said, "I have heard your stories. I wish to learn more of your Earth traditions." Jarek nodded, tapping his metallic fingers together. "My people admire human courage. I hope to share that with you and to learn your bravery." Naomi smiled and offered Maya a cup of steaming tea. "You will do great things," she said. Maya sipped and felt a gentle calm spread through her. As the hatch sealed and the engines thrummed to life, Maya stepped onto the viewing balcony. Earth's blue curve shrank behind them, wrapped in ribbons of sunlight. She pressed her hand to the glass, remembering the maple tree and her family's laughter beneath its leaves. A single tear slid down her cheek, but it was sweet with hope. She turned to Alara, who watched from the corridor with quiet pride. Maya's mind, the alien sent a gentle thought. "Carry your memories, Maya. They will guide you." Maya nodded, taking a deep breath as the ship leapt into the star-strewn sky. Once in deep space, Maya joined Commander Patel in the planning room. A holographic map of nearby star systems flickered above the table. "Our first stop is the Carson Cluster," the captain explained. "They requested cultural exchange and support after a recent environmental challenge. Your role, Maya, is to share human stories of resilience." Maya studied the map, tracing a route with her finger. "I will prepare my favorite tales," she said, thinking of the maple tree autumn, the family dinners, and the festival dances she had learned from her alien friends. Over the next hours, Maya practiced her presentations in the ship's atrium. Soft lights glowed overhead, and plants from Earth and Thalaron worlds grew along the walls. Crew members gathered to listen as Maya spoke of hope found in hardship, the time when a community rebuilt its homes after a storm. The simple joy of singing around a campfire, the promise held in a shared meal. Her voice wavered at first, but grew stronger with each retelling. When she finished, the room was quiet, then burst into applause. Maya's cheeks warmed, and she realized that her words had power to unite, no matter the listener's shape or language. That evening, Maya stood beneath a simulated night sky in the ship's observation dome. Stars glimmered like diamonds against velvet. She thought of her old life and the new one she was building. In the quiet hum of the vessel, she closed her eyes and whispered a promise to herself, to honor her past by bringing light to others, to remind every world that even in darkness, human kindness could shine bright. The following morning, Aurora's hope approached the Coruscant cluster. Maya stood on deck as the planets came into views, small spheres, each with swirling clouds and glinting seas. The captain called the ship to orbit, and docking lines extended toward a sleek space station nestled above a green-blue world. Maya felt her heart race. This was her chance to awaken new friendships. When the airlock hissed open, Maya stepped onto the station platform beside Commander Patel. The Coruscant delegation awaited them, tall, graceful beings with opalescent skin and curious smiles. One elder bowed deeply and spoke through a translator. "Welcome, children of Earth. We are honored." Maya smiled and offered a simple gesture she had practiced, placing her hand over her heart. The translator rendered it in their tongue. "With this, I share my spirit." The delegation returned the gesture, and in that moment, Maya felt a spark of true connection. Throughout the day, Maya shared her stories in bright halls filled with light and art. She listened to Coruscant tales of their own world, how they had healed their forests and taught their children to sing with the wind. She laughed, she empathized, and she wove human and Coruscant memories into a tapestry of shared understanding. By the time the sun set on that alien world, Maya's spirit soared. She had carried humanity's heart across the stars, and in return, she had discovered that every kind being held hope within, as Aurora's hope slipped free and set course for its next mission. Maya stood once more on the balcony, gazing at the distant planets. She thought of home, her maple tree, her family, her new friends on Earth, and she knew her choice had been right. The human spark within her had lit new fires of friendship across the galaxy. And with each passing star, Maya felt more certain. This journey was only the beginning. Maya Carter stood on the polished deck of Aurora's Hope as the stars stretched into endless ribbons before her. Her heart was steady now, filled with the warmth of every world she had visited and every life she had touched. 20 years ago, she had awakened alone and afraid. Now she felt part of something vast and beautiful, a community of explorers, learners, and dreamers, bound by a single truth that hope and kindness could travel across any distance. As the ship's engines hummed softly beneath her feet, Maya lifted her chin and prepared for the next chapter of her journey. The morning light filtered through the viewport as the ship approached Earth's distant orbit once more. Maya watched the blue planet grow larger, its oceans shimmering like sapphires against emerald continents. She thought of her old childhood, home of evenings spent chasing fireflies in the yard and telling secrets beneath a maple tree. She felt a tug of nostalgia, but it was no longer weighed down by grief. Instead, it was a gentle reminder of where she began and how far she had come. She smiled to herself, remembering the first faltering steps she took into Alara's chamber, trembling with uncertainty. Now, uncertainty had given way to purpose. In the communal lounge, Maya gathered with her crewmates to review their next mission, a cultural festival on a newly established colony orbiting Mars. Commander Patel had invited Maya to co-host a segment called Human Hearts, where she would share stories of Earth's people and listen to tales from Martian settlers and alien visitors alike. Maya's stomach fluttered with excitement. She had spoken before, of course, but this time she would stand before an audience that included those she once only knew through hallowed journals and censors. She would weave her memories with new dreams, and together they would build bridges of understanding. That afternoon, Maya practiced her opening on a quiet balcony. Overlooking the ship's hydroponic gardens, She spoke softly to herself. Welcome, friends, to a celebration of home weather on Earth, Mars, or among the stars. We come together to share our stories, our songs, and our hopes. Her voice found its rhythm, guided by the steady beat of her heart. Below her, the gardens glowed with bioluminescent vines and alien blossoms, a living symbol of unity. Each plant had been grafted by hands of different species, growing together in harmony. Maya ran her fingers along a smooth leaf and felt a surge of gratitude for the chance to nurture connections just as these plants did. Evening came, and the festival amphitheater glowed under twin lanterns. Maya and Commander Patel took the stage. Together, and a hush fell over the crowd. First, the Martian settlers shared their journey of transforming Red Rock into fertile soil. Then an alien minstrel from the Thalaran Collective played a harp of crystal strings, its melody weaving through the stars themselves. Finally, Maya stepped forward, her dress softly catching the lantern light. She took a breath and began her story. Once, on old Earth, families gathered beneath autumn skies, passing bowls of stew and sharing laughter. As she spoke of maple leaves dancing in the wind and children's giggles echoing through crisp air, she saw tears and smiles. Among the listeners, human, alien, and Martian alike. Her words carried the gentle power of remembrance, reminding everyone that, no matter how far they traveled, the spark of home lived in simple moments. After her tale, Maya listened to news stories of Martian children learning Earth's languages, of alien engineers crafting ships that sang with the wind, of settlers building schools where cultures mixed like bright paints on a canvas. Maya realized that her journey mirrored theirs. Each had faced change, loss, and uncertainty, but each had chosen to share their hearts and build community. She felt her own heart swell with pride for the human spirit. She represented in profound respect for every being gathered before her. As the festival drew to a close, Maya joined the crowd in a final carosa, lullaby of many tongues harmonized into a single song. The melody rose beneath the stars and echoed against the hull of Aurora's hope. Maya closed her eyes, allowing the sound to wash over her, connecting every soul in that amphitheater. When the last note faded, a gentle silence settled, filled with shared understanding and hope renewed. Later, as she returned to her quarters, Maya paused in the hallway and looked out at the starfield beyond. She pressed a hand to her chest and whispered a promise to carry these stories wherever she went, to listen as much as she spoke, and to remind every world that the truest gift of humanity is its capacity to hope. In the soft glow of the corridor lights, Maya felt the steady rhythm of her heartbeat, no longer the uncertain beat of a woman waking from decades of sleep, but the confident pulse of an ambassador of peace. And as she stepped inside her room, ready for rest before the next adventure, she knew that this was not the end of her story, but the dawn of a legacy she would help write among the stars.